Most people create top 10 lists, but I'm a card counter and 11s are better to a card counter than a 10, so here are 11 surprisingly true facts about card counting. Hey, I'm Colin from Blackjack Apprenticeship. I used to be a professional card counter and then I went on to co-manage blackjack teams responsible for being casinos for roughly $4 million. And now I provide training and resources for card counters through Blackjack Apprenticeship. So here are 11 card counting facts you might not know, starting with number 1, which is that card counting is simply applied mathematics done over and over and over. Most people don't know this, but card counting doesn't really go beyond 4th grade math. However, that does not mean it's easy. First off, very few people take the time, I mean hundreds of hours, to train to be absolutely perfect in it. Then you have to handle the emotional aspect of the job, which for many people is much harder than the mental aspect. Try playing perfect blackjack when you're down $5, $10, or $20,000 in a casino. For many people, that's the true hard part. Number 2, card counters lose more hands than we win. You heard me right, card counters lose more hands of blackjack than we win, but we make up for it with double downs and when we're dealt a blackjack. Here's the deal, a card counter is playing with a 1 or 2% edge over the casino, so we don't win nearly as much as pop culture or casinos or even many card counters expect. Number 3, card counting is the only sport where you can get disqualified by playing 100% by the rules. Card counting is not against any law. I mean, think about it. How can it be illegal to use your brain to play a game to the best of your ability?
How dare you use your brain in here?
That doesn't mean there aren't some casino employees that don't know or don't respect that reality. Number 4, card counting is not as glamorous as the movies. I've been picked up in a private comped limo. I've had 2 comped suites next door to each other, all to myself. I've had $2,000 meals covered by the casino and show tickets, but that's the exception, not the norm. Overall, card counters tend to just blend into the crowd of everyday gamblers. And like I said, even though we're playing with an edge, it's a small one, so card counters tend to be frugal. So while I've never turned down a nice comp from a casino, I've also stayed in dumpy hotel rooms and opted for a slice of pizza from the casino food court and saved up my comp dollars for free gasoline rather than something luxurious. It's not even that uncommon for card counters to spend the night sleeping in their car to save a little bit over a hotel room. Or here's a trick we used to use. If we were playing blackjack all night, we'd get to the hotel room at like 8 a.m. and we'd say, can we check in early? And then we get 2 nights of sleep for the price of 1. As my buddy SD once said, the movies are not right. Hot, scantily clad women are not throwing themselves at me, but I have had to back down a few 75-year-olds. Number 5, card counters generally know a lot more about blackjack than casino table games executives. While there are some casino executives that are very knowledgeable, there are a lot of others that know about card counting much more than they actually know the nuances of it. Other pit bosses and supervisors know very little, and they're more inclined to follow hunches or superstitions than anything else. There have been a couple people recently that have reached out to me because they keep getting kicked out of casinos, and these people don't know how to beat blackjack. They're just getting lucky, and then the casinos are throwing them out because they're afraid of losing to a gambler. Number 6, card counting can take the fun out of gambling. Like I said before, card counting is just math, but math has rules that cannot be broken. You feel like following a hunch at the table? Forget about it. You want to change things up because you're losing? No way if you're a card counter. And then on top of that, when you become a card counter, it's like pulling the curtain back in the casino and you see how the sausage is really made. As one card counting friend put it, it can be incredibly difficult to sit there at the table and see these gamblers throwing their money away, relationships broken because of gambling addiction, and these casinos gladly just sucking the money out of the people. Number 7, card counters are not as big of a threat to casinos as we're portrayed to be. Casinos tend to be paranoid about card counters. I've been surrounded by 15 security guards when they were backing me off, and it was like they thought I was gonna pull some sort of Ocean's 11 trick on them and empty out their casino vault. Like I said, I co-managed a blackjack team that beat casinos for millions of dollars, but when I actually broke down how much we cost each casino in America, with hundreds of casinos spread around the country, we cost each casino a day less than their coffee budget for their surveillance department. Yes, card counters can make millions of dollars over time, but it's nothing compared to the millions of dollars casinos are bringing in every day. Number 8, we do not care how other players at the blackjack table play. There's this thought in casinos that blackjack is a team sport and you have to play with other knowledgeable players to actually win. Well, it's not a team sport. And no, you don't have to play with knowledgeable players. I've broken this down in another video, but the other players at the table have no measurable impact on your odds as a blackjack player. So go ahead and blame the other players at the table if you want, but we know that the math breaks down to how I play at the table. Number 9, losing streaks can last hundreds of hours even when you're doing everything right. Probably the most frustrating part of card counting is the swings. You can be playing a game worth $200 an hour and still be down thousands of dollars after an hour. And for all the math to work out, it can take many hundreds of hours. It's actually not unlike the stock market, where there can be bull markets or bear markets that last weeks or even months. But unlike throwing your 401k in a stock market and ignoring it for years, as a blackjack player, you are feeling every hand of blackjack as your net worth goes up and down over and over, and waiting hundreds and hundreds of hours for all the math to finally work out. Which brings me to number 10, card counting can be a great tool for learning about investing and how to handle the swings of the market. Quite a few famous card counters have gone on to beat other things like sports betting, horse racing tracks, and even the stock markets. The author of the first book on card counting, Ed Thorpe, went on to start a hedge fund that beat the stock markets for billions of dollars. And he credits the lessons he learned as a card counter for how to identify an edge, exploit it, and manage his risk. At number 11, we're the only customers in a casino that the casino is actually being honest with. I've filmed an entire video on why I believe casinos are evil, but a lot of it has to do with their advertising. It'd be one thing if the casino said, hey, look, you're gonna lose to us long term, but have some fun while you give us your money. Instead, nearly every casino's ad is about winning. The casinos are manufactured from the sights, sounds, and slot machine algorithms to psychologically manipulate you into losing as much money as possible. But then a card counter comes along and the casino says,
wait, you actually have an opportunity to beat us long term?
Get the hell out of here.
It's fine, I get it. The casinos can't even handle the thought of losing money. Fortunately for us, the law and the math is on our side. For more on card counting, you can subscribe to this channel, or if you're serious about card counting, check out the training and resources we have at blackjackapprenticeship.com.